point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Oh, you guys want to get rich? This is not a shill stream. I promise you this is not a shill stream. You will learn a great many things in this show today. Oh, yeah. I think of any niche community, I think of any online group of guys that needs the red pill the most. Probably crypto bros. Everybody's a bro. Why is everybody a bro? Passport bros, gym bros, crypto bros. At least there's a bro at the end of an O at the end of crypto. I'm in Reno, Nevada, and my two compatriots, I say business associates, both in Miami. All right, gentlemen. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I wore this today just for you. Okay. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
And it's funny. It's like all these people are gonna be like hacking up, and this is, I can't believe Rollo Tomasi sold out. Fuck that guy.
Wearing a fucking Raiders hat.
A Raiders hat and hacks. Oh, unsubscribe. You guys are in Miami. What are you doing in Miami? Is it raining there still? Is it like, did you make it in time for the next hurricane?
No, it just stopped raining. It just stopped raining maybe 2 hours ago.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it is that time of year. This is like hurricane season right now. It's until like November, middle of November, I think.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Tropical storm Hillary Clinton attacked the West Coast a little bit.
God, could they have been more obvious with that? Like, hey, let's put a Hillary thing in the center of the eye of the storm. Ooh.
The next one's Michelle Obama. The next one's Michelle Obama. Don't forget that one.
Her back's bigger than mine. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, man. I'm like high. Well, I'm like, I had to get my second win because I'm actually like crazy exhausted right now. But I just got done doing the Wet Republic bikini contest yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry, bro.
It's a rough job, man. It's a tough job. It's like triage, man. It's a rough job, man. Like, but honestly, some parts of it are actually pretty rough because, like, we were in like the heat was 108 yesterday in Vegas, and so we went to. You want to see what do you want? Crypto stuff. I'm in this tits, sir. Okay, there you go. Okay. 3 diglets. Everybody gets you know what? You get one of these because you're the first super chat on this show today because I just throw them out willy-nilly today. Good. I'm glad. So I kind of I want to encourage haters and spammers and schmuck faces on this one today because like this is going to be fun. Look, before we get started, you guys are kind of my de facto business partners these days. Well, Miguel's always been, but Charlie is like way more into it now. And before we just jump into what you guys are doing and what I'm doing, I want to talk about like the cultural aspects of crypto. And we're not going to just talk about. We're not just going to talk about Hex. And by the way, Miguel made me a Hexican. I'm sorry. It's his fault. It's his fault.
He's ruined forever.
Yes.
Godfather's a Hexican.
There it is.
Say my name.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So I still have that pulse chain t-shirt we got last
year.
Pulse. Bye, guys. And that's the end of the show.
That'd be a great place to start it right there too. You were pretty. I brought you over here to Vegas and stuff to go to PulseCon, and you were pretty. You were pretty surprised how famous you were and how many people knew you at PulseCon.
Yeah. That was a very interesting like social experiment for me because I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I had people there who were like, "Dude, you saved my life. I watch your show every day." What? You're here for PulseCon? I'm just wandering around, wandering around this place. But but yeah, it was interesting to me. And I by the way, I used that GIF again with the Ghostbusters one where like they all cross the streams. And I always thought about that. I thought it was a funny goof too. It's like in that part where they all cross the streams. It's like the crypto community, the red pill community, like Black Twitter and real estate guys, right? Like, because I was throwing in like George Gammon, Ken McElroy, and Robert Kiyosaki and Jason Hartman, of course. Because it would seem like such odd bedfellows, like everybody sort of like our powers combined, we are Voltron or some shit like that. And that's what convinced me, is that there's actually there's crossover, not only between like, say, George Gammon's like rebel capitalist group or his collective group. What convinced me of that was working with Kiyosaki for actually now almost 4 years. And then, George Gammon and I have been good friends for a while, and I didn't even realize there was that connection until George said, "Hey, do you want to go talk to Robert?" I'm like, "Robert who?" "Kiyosaki." "Oh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad." Yeah, who has been on you guys. We had on, 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
No, but it was Q4. It was Q4 for Cultivate Crypto. And then
we were just recently on this channel after we met him in Vegas with you as well. So that was awesome.
Yeah, we just did a whole interview with him. We did about a quarter of it in his private jet because he was just, I want to flex on everybody. But then we had a really good conversation, including a lot of crypto, topics and real estate and money and everything else. It was really kind of interesting because at least my sort of new perspective right now, is money, muscles, and games. So, but that covers a lot of things. Like, you guys are the money part of that. Right. Gammon's a money part of that. Kiyosaki's a money part. McElroy, all the Gammon for sure. And then, the game part and the social skills and all that, the red pill side, because those were the guys that were at PulseCon, right? And then we're working on the fitness side too. Right? We got Red Pill Thor, we got Drew Bay, we got Thomas, your trainer.
O'Neill, we got O'Neill.
Yeah, O'Neill Thomas and Derek Thomas. And other guys too as well. I almost want to put Glenn in there, but I don't, because
Trendhead. Oh yeah, of course.
Trendhead, yeah.
He should be training.
Trent Lawrence.
He's kind of a jack of all trades now.
Trent Lawrence, you heard it here first. Trent Lawrence. Yeah. God damn, it's weird to be back. I've done so many different podcasts in Las Vegas, and to come back here and to do just like a random one, like that's not my show, is kind of weird. So again, you guys are in Q4 or Q3 for Cultivate Crypto. So just, full disclosure, yeah, that's where we're going to talk about that too. But when I get you guys on, I always want to talk about something that's just a little bit more. We don't have to just talk about, hey, follow this link. I would like to talk to you guys about like the social aspects of stuff and like how the crypto culture actually kind of needs the red pill. Yep. When we went, like Miguel, when we went to PulseCon last year, and people were like coming up to me and like want to take selfies and get autographs and whatever else. Again, I wasn't going there because I thought that was going to happen, but it did, and there was enough of them there that sort of kind of rattled my cage a little bit. And remember the party we went to after?
Yes. Yeah. We went.
Was that Fremont or where was that? It was like downtown.
It was downtown. We went to House of Pain.
Yeah.
The actual House of Pain actually owned that place, and then we were on stage with DJs doing jump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and so I'm meeting all these guys, and most of everybody's younger than me, but like the people that I was meeting there were some people that I knew from like Miami who knew Fresh and Fit, right? And then there's the guys who are just sort of like these newly minted millionaires riding around in their convertibles, whatever, supercars, whatever they were. And they're like, they got some chick that they probably didn't have like 6 months ago. I'm like, yeah, I kind of understand why they're reading my book. I get it. Yeah, I'm glad I can be here for you. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. So I kind of want to like touch on that a little bit, but before we do, I don't think that it's any great secret that we are all, God damn it, Miguel. We are all in some way connected to the Hex community, the Hexicans. And we have been taking it on the chin a little bit recently, but I want to get an update with you. You recently did a video about the Highest Stakes movie,
Yes.
And what they got right and what they got wrong. I kind of want to dip into that just a little bit, and then can you just give us sort of like a quick update on like what's going on with Richard Hart?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll start off with the movie. So the movie was a big success. It was played, I mean, all over and stuff internationally. It played in just about every major city in the United States, and then it actually got picked up so much by Brendan Theaters that it ended up going off into Europe. I mean, Asia. I think there may have been like one in Cairo. I think so. It kind of touched almost all the continents on the world and stuff. You had all the major cities there. So a lot of times, like especially on the first nights and so there were so many that they ended up having like 1, 2, or 3 week showings of it, and from there it kind of showed the success of the movie. Now, one thing that they were trying to do with the movie was they didn't want it to be a movie where it was just like, look how cool Hex is. They wanted to show to them both sides of it versus like what's kind of the middle ground versus like this is a scam versus and it kind of was almost like when they said scam, they're kind of almost attacking all of crypto as well, kind of because most people are very skeptical about crypto in general. So it's kind of lumping in Hex as like, oh, it's a crypto thing, and so it must be a scam versus like, oh, this thing it's just an investment vehicle, and then another one like this is Richard Hart is God.
Right. Yeah.
It's all over. And it ended up being, I think it ended up being pretty good. The one thing that kind of like that kind of caught me off guard a little bit was I had never met the 2 people in the guy from DeVry University. In terms of like the professor and then the other lady that investigates scams. I've never met them. I didn't even heard of them until the movie started. So that was really interesting. So I guess they pretty much brought them in as to be like counterpoints to the rest of the community. And the funniest thing has happened. So after the movies come out, these guys essentially have been closet hexagons now. I mean, they consistently are on Twitter all the time talking about how much they like Hex, and they're like pretty much. I mean, from the outset, you couldn't even tell they're not hexagons because how much they talk about Hex, which is really hilarious to me. But
did they not like? Was it like? I mean, probably to you, was it like glaringly obvious that they were like just sort of like hobby investors, or they were just like only peripherally aware of what was going on with Hex and with Pulse Chain and Richard?
Yeah. I would say that they completely didn't know anything about crypto really outside of Bitcoin. Like they didn't even understand Bitcoin very well. And as time progressed, they started learning more and more about the markets. And effectively, Richard started teaching them and talking to them, and as well as other hexagons, and they started understanding like, oh, this is a CD, or this is some sort of like, like the yield makes sense and stuff. The yield doesn't come out of thin air and stuff like that in terms of that. It's actually created here. And then, okay, so why can it have such a high yield while still having such a low inflation rate? And then it explains it all and stuff. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'm starting to understand it. But it's like watching a person like they're coming into the crypto space for the first time and they're jumping into the deep end of the pool. And that's what's happening to them basically. And what they're taken back by was like, wow, this community is gigantic. Like absolutely gigantic. Because like there's people in every city. Like it is crazy too. Like I could literally fly to any city on this damn near on this planet. And if I send a tweet out and I talk to the Telegram chats, I could probably end up getting a group of like maybe 10 or 15 guys with me anywhere. That's crazy. I mean, it is like a crazy sort of feat. The only other group I know that could even do anything like that would be the Red Pill as well. Yeah. So it's a really, now the Hex is a very Hex and Pulse Chain, the whole Hex Pulse Chain ecosystem is a very unique sort of thing because I've been a part of other communities that have nowhere near that level of like community at all. It's very superficial. Like it's very just on Twitter. We're on for Hex itself. It is a very YouTube heavy community. Like it's probably got the highest amount of YouTubers for any ecosystem period. There is like second to none, basically. Yeah. So they have the largest amount of Twitter followers, largest amount of Twitter accounts, largest amount of YouTube accounts. I've been pushing the front on getting them on Instagram, which has been tough, but like Instagram is kind of like the new frontier for them.
It's a new frontier for the Hex guys.
No, it really is because it's like this is a kind of go to the culture. It's about privacy a little bit, right? So it's like because the government's kind of like, oh, I don't like this whole thing. Everyone likes to hide behind a avatar, right? And we're what's going on now is a lot of crypto people are starting to put their faces out there, especially with like you can now pay for like to be verified, so you have to put your name out there and stuff like that. So, you're starting to get a lot more legitimate people coming out of the shadows and kind of like not exposing themselves, but like, hey, this is me. Like, my name's actually Miguel. Hey, nice to meet you. It's that sort of stuff. Because a lot of people will like, they're completely lying about their entire name and everything. Like you could know someone is Hector and his real name is actually Alex, and you would never know that. Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. So like it's
like, I only know RG3 by RG3. His real name. I might not know him, but like, what does that stand for? Because I know the football player too. I mean, you ain't the football player.
So the movie was basically filmed during the peak. So right before the all-time, it started right around 2021, and then as they continued filming, the prices just went to all like bananas. So the summer it did really good. It hit, it hit high like 20-cent range, and then deep into 2021 it hit, it's a notorious 56-cent price range, which was the big promise that Richard kind of said, like, this thing's designed, it's not promised, but it's designed to do 10,000x, and it hit the number, and it kind of shut up a lot of haters and stuff. But what also happened in November was Bitcoin hit its all-time high and started going down. So one thing,
that was like 67,000, wasn't it?
Yep, the 69,000, 67,000. But pretty nice price. I mean, the thing is we hit $64,000 in the summer, and then it kind of like lingered for a while, and then it just started pumping back up again. And the market, like, we're back, you guys, we're back. And so everyone was very happy. But this is also what it captured. What happens in the overall cycle to every coin. So it took a picture of what happened to Hex, but it's also what happened to Bitcoin. It happened to Michael Saylor as well. Michael Saylor, like, he's like the grand poobah. He's like, I kind of put a meme on my channel all the time where I show him basically acting like a crazy lunatic, where it was like, sell your house, sell your kids, just sell everything and stuff. I know you've had this business. I know you've had this business in your family for 37 years. Borrow on it, mortgage it, and then buy the greatest asset on earth, Bitcoin, right? And to show that even no matter what, from like the holy of holies Bitcoin to like the stinkiest shit coin on the planet, they're all degenerates, right? And they all lose themselves to mania, because when the bear market hits,
they all follow cult leaders. Yep.
It's like they go on a really dirty bulk, and then when the bear market happens, they're on a cut, and they're real disciplined now. I'm in monk mode. And then when the bull market starts, they turn into fucking, they're in the streets fucking with whores,
rooting in the gutter. Charlie, what did you think of the movie?
No, I liked it actually, and I've done the whole journey, the whole journey with Hex, which at the very early days with Hex, I bought into the idea that was put out by some of these crypto news channels, like CoinDesk and everything, that had vendettas out for Richard Hart. They basically, the early days, said it was a scam, and I was like, well, let me put some money on it and see where it goes, right? So I put some money on it back in the day, and it was one of the best performing positions in the last bull market for me as well. So it was interesting because I could see both sides of the coin, basically, when I went into the movie, and I liked how they presented that. They actually, if you watch the entire movie, you'll probably come out with it saying, wow, if this is a Hex funded movie. They actually like kind of went on the what do you call them, the opposition points, like, against Hex, more than they did like the positive points, because the positive points, if you watch the movie, kind of like Miguel said, the people who were most skeptical about it at the beginning of the movie, when they actually did their research, they basically got turned into Hexicans, because it makes sense now once you do your research and once you understand it, and then of course once you make money with it as well. All those things help fuel people really enjoying this community and really enjoying that asset, right? And so it was just interesting to kind of see them go I wasn't as extreme as they were, but they kind of went through the same learning process that I did on Hex, because you can understand Bitcoin, you can understand Ethereum, you can understand all these other crypto assets, but yeah, the way Richard Hart has worked with tokenomics and with his community and everything is, rare in the crypto space. I think there's a lot of people who can't make a crypto as well as him that basically fits all aspects. So, I was pleasantly surprised by the movie and really enjoyed it. And it was fun watching it with the group that we had, because we had about 100 people who came to our crypto mindset meetup back on early August, the first week of August. And we had about 100 people with us in the theater, and there was a few, I think there was like maybe 10 people in the theater that weren't from our group. And like, we were all hissing and jawing at the screen, like, oh shit, I remember that. And like stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. But I think we took a picture afterwards in front of the cinema, and out of all the Hex movie meetups or whatever, we had pretty much the biggest group. So it was fun to see kind of, that full circle of what's happened. And when you watch the movie, you're like, I want to watch part 2. And that part 2 is already playing out in real life with Pulse Chain.
Right. I almost wonder if it's not like I don't know if you guys can recall this far back, but the Red Pill movie by Cassie J. That was like funded by Mike Cernovich and funded by like Milo Yiannopoulos and the guys from A Voice for Men and Paul Elam and Dean Esme, all those guys who featured heavily in the movie, of course. And I remember when it came out, and I'm like, this is just going to be this kind of like journey of self-discovery for this feminist, who goes from being a feminist to not being a feminist because she has some sort of sympathy for the men's rights, thing. And I'm watching it, and I'm hacking up in disgust, and like, I'm wondering like if something gets made about like a documentary or a movie or whatever it is that gets made about your particular niche or something that you're like kind of uniquely aware of. You're just like, oh God, I can't believe they fucked that up. Like, I can't believe they took that route, and that they're bullshitting, and you're like, that's bullshit, but you can't really say anything about it. I wonder if there's like not that kind of like frustration with people when they watch something like this, especially when they're like you were saying before, like the Pulse Chain community is very like almost emotionally invested in the community. And people say, well, it's a cult. Well, it's not a cult. It's because, it's like guys, people from all over the world. I can understand why people would think so, but it's a community for sure.
It's like a football team. It's like a football team.
Do you think that the community is hacking up in disgust at it, or do you like they're like throwing shit at their TV, or do you think that I share the same opinion that you guys do?
So the community really supported it. We really did. RG3 and the guys Connects and stuff. They did a great job getting the guys for the documentary. But the thing that ever caught everyone is just it's like the end of the movie. Which was
the Titanic, the ship sinks. Oh no!
Right, and this is the funny thing about it. So if we did the same movie and I did it about Chainlink, or I did it about Ethereum, or I did it about any of their coins, it would be the same story. It would be the same sort of story, because you would start interviewing people, and then you'd interview guys who essentially borrowed on their whole. Like I took my entire house savings and threw it into Ethereum at $4,000. And now I'm down this much. Or like, I was really into Luna, or I was really into whatever coin was popping back in 2021, and it's down right now. The interesting thing is like certain coins will come back. Like this the big tall tale sign is that the community sticks around and survives. And that's one interesting thing about this community, is that like it's very sticky, and they are still there, whether even though they're pissing and moaning and crying, which is mostly a couple of it's usually just it's a loud minority basically. But that's kind of what's going on there and stuff. Now it would be like the whole thing. The one thing I will say though, because they had to show both sides, is I feel like they didn't show they could have showed the community just a tiny bit more. But I understand what they were trying to do, because it was made by this professional filmmaker and stuff that he had won a bunch of awards already, so he really wanted to have it like a nice general story piece for someone that could just pick it up and then they don't know what's going on. So it still was a very good movie, and it was pretty fair to Hex, but they made it very they kind of whitewashed it a little bit. For the general public, because it's sort of like that, like it's sort of like you meet a guy like, that guy's a guitar player's guitar player, what I'm saying, like
right.
that guy's a jazz man, it's
right.
like
He's a virtuoso, virtuoso
and stuff like that. So it's like that wasn't that movie, but at some point we'll make that movie. Like that's the one thing, like, like, because, we're business partners, me and Charlie and you, we're all working together. We're doing a lot of interesting stuff in Vegas, is that eventually, we want to make it a real red pill movie to show what it really is like. And then at some point we're going to do a real crypto movie to show what it really is like as well. Because the thing is like, it's almost like you almost want to show like the whole Fight Club sort of thing, where and just cut out the bad part, where the bad, but to show like people making gains and people like not knowing anything, and then catching the fervor of like the bull market, basically.
Right.
But the thing is like like one thing is like in the movies you want to also show the guys who actually won a lot and stayed winning, versus like they like what happens with some of these movies, and especially some of the crypto movies that are coming out, is that they're only focusing on the people that are losing.
Right.
And they're not focusing on all the people, how much money they made, as well as all the guys in these movies were up a ton as well, and they just didn't take profits because they get caught up in the team. Because even though Hex, as an example, hit 56 cents, it could have easily gone to $2 or $1. Like, why not? I mean, it already hit 50 cents. What's a fucking another 2x?
Yeah. Now where is it now, and where is it going? And we won't just stay on Hex for the whole show. I promise we won't. I just so we can sort of like the catch up to where we are right now.
So right now,
and what happened? And is Richard going to fight the SEC?
Yes. So Richard's going to fight the SEC. He's already been doing tons of tweets about like law cases and everything. So yeah, Richard's going to end up. I don't speak for Richard or anything like that, but if I'm just looking out as like an observer, he's probably going to end up using this as a way to like, not just defend Hex, but and Pulse Chain, but also, make a bunch of noise, which brings more attention to Pulse Chain and Hex. And there's a good chance they have a good case. They have a good case, but they're trying to settle with him right now. So they're offering him, like, depending on where you look and stuff, it's like a deal, like a $12 to $14 million plea deal, where like he just pays the $12-14 million and he gets off scot-free, except he can't talk about crypto anymore. That's the caveat there. It's like, okay, we'll let you go. That's it. But you can't talk about crypto anymore. So obviously he's gonna fight that, basically, because if you look on the news, like XRP is winning their lawsuit, Coinbase is going to win their lawsuit, Uniswap just won their lawsuit. Like every crypto company that's getting sued by the SEC is kicking their fucking ass in court.
Can I interject something here? Because this is something you and I have talked about offline. I don't think we've ever made this public before. I don't know. Maybe you have. Maybe you did actually on your show. But the SEC filing against Richard Hart came the week or maybe like 4 days after Sam Bankman-Fried fucking walks, and they need a scalp. Yeah, and the scalp is Richard Hart. And
XRP won their. And XRP won their thing with Coinbase, and then Coinbase relisted XRP on Coinbase, and then Coinbase launched their L2 base protocol. So they basically just got embarrassed. So they just scrambled just to find the next thing so they could save face. That's literally what this is about. And almost all the lawsuits, like they're just suing all of crypto. Like it isn't just like a Hex thing or Pulse Chain thing. I mean, they were going after Uniswap. Basically, they were trying to. For people who don't know what Uniswap is basically it's like a digital exchange you use where you trade Ethereum for other coins. So instead of using dollars, you use Ethereum, and that Ethereum buys you whatever altcoin you like, basically, right? And they were trying to say, hey, because you created Uniswap, you are responsible for everything that's ever been launched on your protocol. So it's like, imagine you created the internet, and then you're responsible for everything that happened on the internet. No, I didn't do any of that. So that's what happened, and the courts agreed with Uniswap that says, no, you are not liable. You just created this open and free protocol here. You are not responsible for anything that people launch on here. And then very quietly, Uniswap started, taking because what happened right before the lawsuit happened, they not delisted Hex, but more like made it you couldn't type in the name, and then after the lawsuit, they reinstated it.
Shadow banned it. They basically it's a classic shadow banning is what that is.
So they shadow banned it, and then now it's non-shadow banned.
I'll tell you, it's funny. It's like when I first got, I think it was Fresh who actually got my Instagram like sort of up to speed. Now I use it all the time, and I understand. I see the value in it. Thank you, Fresh. But what was funny is like I didn't realize this was happening. He goes, "Oh man, you're shadow banned." I'm like, how the fuck did I get shadow banned? I'm like posting pictures of Ned on the freaking thing. And like just a couple of, people will follow me, like my haters will follow me, and they'll report like the loosest ass, offense that they can. And you get up to like one, two of these, three of these things, and you get shadow banned, right? And so then if I'm, trying to talk to people live, and it's like, okay, you need to type in, here's the whole thing. Very similar to that. So when this went down with, and full disclosure, I've interviewed Richard Hart on this show before. I was the first to do it in the Red Pill. Thank you very much. Fucking fucks.
Everybody was up in arms about it, right?
Yeah, I know. And it's like, don't you know who this guy is? Nah. On my show, I'll take it. No problem.
Let me say one thing, because like the guy, like, look, so I used to be really anti XRP. I really was, because here's the culture. The culture is we're supposed to be a decentralized thing where we are basically we're fighting against the machine. Bitcoin was created in 2009 because of all the bullshit that happened during the housing crisis, and the banks were bailed out when they shouldn't have been bailed out. They should have failed, and then we should have reset the system like capitalism is supposed to be. But instead, we bailed out the banksters, and Satoshi Nakamoto was really pissed off about that. That's bullshit. That shouldn't be allowed. So he created Bitcoin. That's the beginning religion, or the beginning ethos of that. We want our own money that no one can take. We created ourselves. We give it value. The government can't tell us when to send our money and stuff like that. Like, why should I go when I go to the bank? Why do I have to tell you why I'm taking out like $5,000? Why are you asking me anytime I take out more than $5,000 from the bank? Hey, are you paying off a car? What are you doing with it? Like, why do you care? I'm like, I literally was like, I'm just being a degenerate gambler. I just tell them that it's Vegas, right? But but that's what I'm talking about. Now, the reason a lot of people are very anti-XRP, it's just not hexagons. It's a lot of people in crypto, is because they're helping the banks, and they're basically being the backbone for a lot of the payment rail systems and upgrading the banking system instead of so this is why a lot of people in crypto feel a little betrayed and don't like it that much. Right. But what's happened is a lot of crypto, regardless or not, since the SEC came after XRP, no matter what, even though we don't like the guys, they're one of us. And we support them, right? And a lot of the XRPs don't see that the reason that they're suing Hex, it's a stepping stone. They don't care about Hex. What they're doing is as soon as like, let's just say if Hex lost a case, now they have a case study to sue everything else and fuck everything over, because basically the reason, like, even though the cases are different, but what they're going to do, they don't care about the end date. What they care about is by tying this is that XRP essentially did a unauthorized security. That's what they did. They crowdsourced money without permission. They ended up launching their token. They did a token sales, and then they were like created two separate entities, one with a cryptocurrency here and one for the company. And the company kept selling off XRP as their asset class, but they're basically, I mean, it's kind of like they're transferring money to the company and letting the coin do what it did effectively.
I see.
A lot of weird. Same thing with Chainlink, right? But the thing is like, if
now they're calling that misappropriation of funds, then. Yeah,
and the thing is that you could very easily they're obviously XRP's got good lawyers and they're doing all stuff, but if you look at XRP in that lens, you get the case there, like, oh, that was security. And then what they're trying to prove is, oh, Hex was security and they misappropriated funds, or they gathered funds, and that's kind of what that isn't the Hex side, but that's more of the Pulse side in terms of lawsuit. But that's what they're trying to do, because if they do that, then they can go after every RC20 token on Ethereum, because right now the SEC is trying to classify Ethereum as a security, and right now they need a lawsuit. If they can win one of these lawsuits, any of them, it doesn't matter. It could be Chainlink, it could be Uniswap. If they're able to nail one crypto down to the cross, then from there they can crucify the rest of all DeFi.
Because it sets precedent. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
but they've been trying to do that for a long time now, and they've been failing miserably. Like they're getting the L here with Ripple, right? They're suing Coinbase and Binance, right, for pretty much unfounded reasons as well. And it's like they're blanketing everybody because they actually care more about the media coverage, right? Because it paints crypto in a bad light at the right time, rather than if crypto goes in a bull market and all of a sudden, next year, right? And all of a sudden, basically they start losing these cases, then nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to hold the SEC to actually, you sued these guys wrongfully, right? Nobody's going to care. It'll be like, oh yeah, we just forget about it, right? So they're really in there for the media impact. And Gary Gensler could lose his job because he's gone so hard in the paint against crypto. I mean, the one fact alone that you should understand about the SEC and Gary Gensler is that he's actually family friends with Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison of Alameda Capital and FTX.
Yeah. Speaking of a need for the red pill and the crypto,
oh, Jesus Christ, that's like
can we just let's roll a little further.
That's an emergency. That's like something like,
you know what? It's like all these guys are, where's this red pill in the crypto? We did a whole fucking episode on that. You guys just don't remember.
FTX sex scandal.
Yeah, exactly, right? But Gary Gensler, basically, right? He was family friends with these people. What's his job, right? His job is to actually find the bad actors in the space and essentially save retail or save the average everyday trader from getting hurt. Instead, what does he do? He goes to the Bahamas in the spring of 2022, right? I think it was around May. He goes there. He meets Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison. They're committing fraudulent crimes against pretty much everybody in the crypto space. He has no idea, apparently, which is its job to know, and he knows these people personally. And then 6 months later, the whole thing collapses.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little fishy to me.
And then the fucking kid walks.
Right.
Like, no, sorry. Yeah. Well, no harm, no foul. See you later. I want to, because we're going to get to the super chat here because everybody's going nuts here. You guys think I don't read chats? I do. Now I wanted to get into this because, and the reason why I led off with, where did it go? The reason I led off with this is, I think we've used this before. The reason I led off with this as the thumbnail is because it's like that's a face that people like see and they're like, okay, looks like the Joker. He looks like Willy Wonka. He looks like he's some sort of, personality that's like, even if you don't know who Richard Hart is, you see this and you go, okay, I got to watch this show. Right. The reason, now I want to point out a couple of things here because I think a lot of people are going to, I'm just going to bring it out in the open because I swear to God, somebody in the comments or somebody in the chat's going to say this anyways. Cult of personality. Okay. And when there's a strong enough cult of personality, I'm certainly not going to attribute that to somebody like Sam Bankman-Fried. He was not that big of strong of a personality, but he was the fall guy and his girlfriend was like a whack job. And so all the crap that was going, all the degeneracy that was going on involved with that dude walked. The guy went away. He's like scot-free. Nothing happened to the guy. But because Richard Hart looks like, this, right? He's an easily identifiable kind of boogeyman, right? Same thing with Andrew Tate. Same thing with,
Can you pull that picture up one more time of Richard Hart?
Sure.
So the reason I'm just, this is my thing. It's because this is the same thing. I talked to the same thing to Michael Sartain a little bit, right? Is that he actually, Michael Sartain actually clubbed with Mystery. Guess who also did back in the day? Richard Hart.
Right.
Same time. So that's the reason is because when he became a multimillionaire.
We're all scammers and hanging out together.
So when he became a multimillionaire.
Personalities, okay? Yeah.
Like he went on this, like, now I'm just speaking for if I'm just looking at his life story and what ended up happening is like in 2001 or 2002 he kind of made his money, retired, and what happens? Well, okay, now I fixed the money part. Let me go try to get females. And who did he run into? He ran into Mystery, so he went into peacocking. And it makes so much sense when you look at it. You understand how it is.
Walking out of Louis Vuitton with the bag. Do you not think he's doing that for effect? I mean, come on. Do you think
outrage marketing? It's outrage marketing.
I met the guy. He does it for effect, right? He's punking you. Does he still own the big giant diamond?
Yes, he owns the world's largest diamond, the Hex.com diamond.
Really?
That's so smart too. Like you end up calling the world's biggest diamond. I'm renaming it to a website name. So you have to say the website.
He's fucking Elton John of fucking crypto. I mean, is that? Can we okay? We get it. Thanks. Yeah. Now the other one thing I want to say is before we move on to the super chats here. Do you guys also talk about other crypto coins and other things besides Hex?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, really? So we're not just shilling for one Pulse Chain and Hex this show?
Yeah, I think one thing that people.
What do you think is good coming up?
Right. Well, I think one thing people tend to misunderstand, right, is and people understand this once they get into the course and everything. we recommend that people have like 50% of their portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum. That way it keeps the rudder to your portfolio, keeps you balanced and everything. And then Hex, literally, we talk about it, Hex and Pulse Chain, that whole ecosystem, right, which is a lot of different coins right now. We don't recommend that you go over 20% of your portfolio in that. And, you know, if you're brand new to crypto, maybe only start with like 5% of your portfolio towards that. And that's because like it's a brand new chain with Pulse Chain, and Hex did a 10,000x from early days to the top. So, you know, the fact that the creator is making a new chain, all this stuff, it has potential to do, you know, another really good run. But we already know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are basically your stable coins, and everything revolves around those in the crypto space. So in order not to get wrecked, make sure that you buy Bitcoin and Ethereum first. So we give very reasonable advice. We say that we're coin agnostic. We'll make money on any coin, right? We'll make it on meme coins. We'll make it on, you know, Hex. We'll make it on Bitcoin. We'll make it on Ethereum. But it's all about that balance that's important.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Like, and that's the sort of thing too, is like there's a lot of coins. So right now, right now we're so early in the cycle that we still have a lot of the old coins still here. We mostly have all the same L1s. We have all, and for like layer ones, we still have Ethereum, we still have Bitcoin, we still have some of the old meme coins, we still have Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and stuff like that. And it's not going to be this year, but it's going to be sometime in the summer or after the halvening for Bitcoin that we're finally going to get the launch of like brand new tokens that are like virgin brand new tokens. And a lot of these tokens, they're only good for about 2 years, and then that's it. That's what happens. So doesn't mean that you can't make some money on them, but they're a risk play, right? Like, let's just say as an example with Luna, right? We got into Luna at like, what was it, like $7. We got out and we told everyone we're getting out of it. Hey, I think this thing, something's wrong with it. I think we're starting to see some smoke here. Let's get out of this thing at $84. And we were very vocal about that, and we got out. The thing is like what ends up happening is that some people aren't paying attention or not listening to anything that it was kind of this, like, just like with like as an example, like the Celsius token or something like that. We got out. We're telling people we got out like 9 months before it went down. Or something like, hey, let's get out of this thing. And in profit too, and let's just get the hell out of here. This thing. I don't think this thing's going to pump anymore. And it didn't pump anymore. And then we moved on. We moved all that into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's the sort of thing is that like the thing is, you have to learn the culture. It's sort of like it's sort of like, hey, I'm only learning the red pill enough to pick up chicks, and then the moment I'm in a relationship, I'm out. I throw it all away, right? And then I get fucking divorced.
Thanks, I got all the money I need. See you later, pal. I know everything I know. So I need from you. Thanks. I've taken it all. I've internalized it.
Right now, I mean, this is the whole thing. Is like, it's crypto is very volatile, so it's big up and big down. Okay. Now you have stocks.
Wait, sorry. Repeat that again so the people in the cheap seats can hear you again. What was that?
Crypto is a very volatile asset class. Big up. If you want big up, that means a huge amount of gains. You have to also sit through big time down. That means guilty. So it isn't just like, I mean, if you look across the space, the average altcoin right now in the crypto space is down 91% from all time. 91% today. Are
stable coins eating their lunch? Is that why? Is because of what you were talking about before with the Ethereum?
No. So the stable coins are still pegged right now at $1 and stuff. So Tether and USDC and DAI are still there. That's fine. Okay. It's just what ended up happening is that, as Bitcoin goes down and stuff like that, what ended up happening is the interest rates started to go up. So what happened was, as soon as we crossed into 2022, we had the Federal Reserve take us from 0%. That means free money, 0.25. In a year and a half today, we're at 5.5%. We raised 525 basis points in about a year and a half. Record level. I mean, that hasn't been done since the 70s. The last time that would happen was under like Paul Volcker, where they ratcheted us up by 1,700 points. We were at 17% on the interest rates. So what happened is that money, like cheap money, dried up. This is why at the same time we ended up having the Silicon Valley Bank stuff happen. This is why real estate's going down. The only reason stocks are even near or at all-time highs is because what's going on right now is baby boomers are retiring right now, and there's a lot of moving around of funds going on. Like every day, 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every day. And the last baby boomer is in retirement age in 4 years from now. So in 4 years, and guess what? By 2030, Social Security is going to go belly up. So that's a little bit scary fact. And now it's not going to go like it's money zero. It's more like they're going to probably take like a 25% haircut.
Mm.
But this is the kind of stuff that's like, they're not like, it's crazy. Like the baby boomers are basically like, they're basically, every baby boomer is going to be eligible to have their Social Security check. And then what's going to happen is after 3 more years of that, they're going to start having financial problems with Social Security. And then they're going to have these crazy talks about maybe cutting, making the check 25% smaller for every baby boomer.
Mm.
I hope, and I hope they end up fixing it because there's time to fix it. But because I mean, we're in 2023, we're talking about something that could happen in 2030 to 2033. But you know, I mean, with Congress, it's just like such a crazy sort of thing that like we're waiting like, you know, a minute to midnight to fix it. You know, it's like 6 years away. I don't know why we're like not doing it right now.
Graduated university, I just assumed it wouldn't be available, right? And so I think everybody who's a millennial or younger just needs to plan to not have Social Security. Like there is no safety net, right? So inflation is the thing that the dragon that's chasing us all. And so, you know, I'm just going to assume
it's a hot kitchen.
Yep.
You should not be in that fucking kitchen. Yeah. Well, that's the thing that gets me is, and we get this every time we do a show, even when we had Kiyosaki on, right? You know, oh, you guys are scammers. This is a scammer. What's the value in it? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, if that's your mentality, don't do crypto. Just fucking don't do it, man. Go buy gold. Listen, you know, those commercials that come in for the old people on Fox News, like get a pillow, whatever that pillow guy is, and get a big old bar of gold and some silver and stuff and just like tuck it in under your mattress or some shit like that, dude. Because like you were just saying right now, there is no security. Like your savings, your 401k, all the retirement funds and everything like that. But, you know, most people's like plan for retirement is finding a fucking, you know, suitcase full of cash on a freeway somewhere that's dumped by, you know, Pablo Escobar or some shit, right?
They're hoping to hit the fucking Powerball. They're trying to hit the Mega Millions in the Powerball, or they're hoping to God that they hit the feature on a lightning link in Las Vegas or something like that, where they hit the blackjack into like the average American, and this is probably across the world, but like the average American doesn't even have
risk averse, man. They're risk averse. They're not tolerant at all.
And that's what ends up happening. It's because we had such a long period of time with zero interest rates. You had to go look for risk. You have to, because you couldn't. You used to be able to leave your money in the bank, and it actually would provide you a decent income. Savings account. The reason, like, so when Paul Volcker increased the interest rates to 17%, you used to be able to earn 12 to 15% in savings, 20% in savings at some point. And 20 was a little high, but like maybe that would maybe been like a high interest savings account. But imagine like your grandma used to be able to go to the bank and just leave the money in a savings account, and she'd earn 10%. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. That's $10,000 on $100,000, or $100,000 on $1 million. You know, that's a decent amount of cash. And for the longest time since I graduated high school and just until 2022, you know what you were earning? Nothing. You were earning like a quarter per year on like any amount of money and stuff. It was ridiculous. You were basically earning zero on a savings account other than just saving it and stuff. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, and you have to educate yourself.
That's why, you know, and I hate that too, because it's like that's the whole thing. Okay, here's your red pill lesson, gentlemen. When it comes to like seeking security, men are way more risk tolerant than women are. Okay. And that's across the board. All right. So, you know, when it comes to seeking long-term security, it's a sort of a feminine way of thinking. Right. So if you are in crypto because you think, or you think that crypto is a scam because there's no long-term security in it. Yeah. Get the fuck out. The kitchen is too hot for you. Go, like I said, go buy commodities, right? Go fucking pick up gold or whatever else you see, you know, being shilled on Fox News, right? I want to like throw a couple of quick. I don't know if I've asked you guys this before. So here's a deal. You know, actually, we got a chat here that I wanted to address because this is great here.
Sure.
Where'd it go?
I love how passionate the chat is. I love.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, you know that's I love your trolls, man. Your trolls are because they come and visit me. Hi guys. Yeah. So let's see. This is my great one. Here's a good one. Hi, Mike. These dudes aren't making money off of crypto. They're making money off of courses and consultations. Okay, let's address this. First of all, I sell books. That's basically, oh my God, you sell books? Huh? You're shilling your book? Yeah, that's kind of what authors do. Right. But let me ask you guys this. How long have you been doing crypto? And then how much have you, like, what's, you could just take a ballpark, or you just give us an example in a story or something like, how much have you like made off of crypto? Like your financial situation, your life changed because you did X, Y, and Z in crypto. And how much have you lost in crypto? Okay. How much have you gained and how much have you lost? And how did you, like, I think I know Miguel's background too, a little bit, because in finance and stuff, and then you got into crypto. But like, I think what's interesting is when people start throwing around, like they make presumptions like this, they have no clue who the fuck they're talking about. So just to get a little bit of background, what got you into crypto? And then also, what was your greatest loss and what was your greatest gain?
Okay. So you want to go first, Charlie, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll get you, Charlie.
It doesn't matter. I got into crypto in 2017. I bought my first Ethereum at $90 per coin. When it went up to, at first I thought I was buying the top, to be honest. A lot of people, or particularly one person was telling me to buy Ethereum at $30. It went to 90. I thought I was buying the top, and I was like, fuck it. I'll just put $1,000 in, see where it goes, right? 2 months later, not paying attention to it at all. I look at it again. Holy shit, it's $400 per coin. What the hell? So that got me obsessed with crypto in the early days, and then basically took, every opportunity that I could to dump money into it and then learn about it as I was doing it. So that's what really got me started. So I've been in this industry now for 6 years. I made enough money on crypto for about a year and a half after I got into crypto. That's when I quit corporate, right? So I was able to earn enough money to have a nest egg so I could basically trade with that. And it took me about 2 years to build my YouTube channel up to something where we could sell a course and monetize ourselves, right? So during that 2 years, right, I maintained my lifestyle in Tokyo, in a country that is not my native country. Didn't change anything, and traded crypto and made money on it. So, that there, I can, I wouldn't tell anybody to, trade crypto as a full-time job, simply because, if you read the book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, Jesse Livermore in there says, well, you never want to, and this guy made in his lifetime, hundreds of millions of dollars, but in terms of today's money, like billions of dollars. Like, he was absolutely a fucking G. And, even him, because he went crazy high and crazy low, big losses, big gains. And he said, the market is not consistent like a paycheck. So don't treat it as such, right? Have multiple streams of income. So, I built the channel to help people and to help basically put the word of crypto out there, because there's a lot of other channel, well, almost every other crypto channel out there does not monetize themselves, right? They get monetized by who? Other companies that tell them what to fucking say.
Say that again, Charlie. That's really important.
Yep. They get paid by companies in crypto like FTX, right, to get paid what to say, so that basically they don't give you information, right? It's like CNBC. On CNBC, Wall Street will literally be like, hey, I'm not going to say anything on CNBC because that will basically put me in some hot water, but I can pay CNBC to say some shit for me to pump up the price of something, right? So that's what essentially happens in a lot of crypto YouTube. But me and Miguel, we were like, okay, when we're starting our channels, I wanted to not do that. I'm like, that's not right. So I'm not going to do that. So instead, I'm going to create a service and product. And, Miguel joined me on this, and we started the course in September of 2020, and we monetize ourselves. We don't take any money from anybody. We get companies here telling us, hey, here's $30,000 for 2 weeks. Just recommend our product to people, right? We'll give you straight up cash, no problem. And, you'll make money after that on the referral links as well. And we say, hell no, because, that's not what we're about. So that's what I have to put out there first. In terms of, like how much have we made it? It's, in the mid 7 figures in terms of, how much we've made in the past. And I would say on average, most people that pay attention to the information that we have given, if they have gone through the full 4-year cycle with us, right? There's a few guys out there. Cody Mouse was one of the guys who first, he's part of the Red Pill. He basically was one of the first guys to follow my channel and everything. There's Greg B. There's a bunch of guys out here who, basically, if you watched my channel from 2019 in the early days, you would average about a 20, 30, 40x on your portfolio over that last bull market. So that's what we offer. That's the value we provide. But then in terms of losses, right? I don't know if this is the single biggest loss that I made, but basically the story of Luna, I'll tell it very quickly. But basically I bought Luna, I think at $15 was where I made the average for my dollar cost average in. And then basically it went from $15 to a little bit over 100. It was like 110, I think, at the peak. And I sold out my original position times 2. So I doubled my money. I took that out on a 6X at about $87. And then I left the other bits of money in there, right? So I doubled my money, which is great, but I could have just taken the 6X, right? But I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And I said on my channel, I did a video on my channel in January of 2022, said, sell Luna, right? Because it's too high. And the only thing I'm keeping is a moon bag, which just means amount of money in case I'm wrong.
Moon bag.
If it goes up, I can make more. But if it goes down, no worries, I'll cut it later. And so when Luna started dropping, right, I was like, let's see how this goes, right? And it started dropping and dropping, but I already taken my profit, so I was in a good position. But the amount of money that I lost on that was about $40,000, which, maybe could have bought a nice new car or something. But hey, that's part of the game that we play. It's kind of like if you go to the casino, right? And you're playing a table, you're up, big on like, a 6X or something. You take, your original chips out times 2, you put those to the side. Okay, now you didn't do anything. You keep spinning that roulette wheel and it's gone. Oops. So like you learn these things in crypto, and that's why we preach risk management in our course.
I don't think enough people realize like how long has crypto like been a thing. When did you get into it, Charlie?
May of 2017.
2017, almost about the time that I did, actually.
Yeah.
But how long has it been around though? Like since 2012?
2009.
Okay, that's when Satoshi had the real Bitcoin thing. Okay, so so you got to remember, like, so even if we went back to, let's just say, we'll round it off, 2010. If you went to 2010, you're only 13 years into this brand new fucking thing called, crypto. That's a digital. And again, how much technology has changed since 2010 to 2023. Okay. How much has society changed? How much of people, like, what generation came into their own in that 13-year span? A very risk intolerant generation. That's for fucking sure. Like I think what's funny is like, it's still the Wild West. So to expect it to be like a fucking CD or a, money market fund or a 401k, like when you're at your 9 to 5, I know because I was there, you're at your 9 to 5 and the people from Fidelity or whatever come in and they're like, okay, do you want a high risk, you want a high risk mutual fund? Do you want a low risk, a medium risk? What do you feel? How do you feel about commodity? If that's how you think about investing, the high risk and to the low risk, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing that. Like put low risk and let's find copper. Let's all that shit. Stay with something that's safe. Because it's going to give you. Maybe it won't give you what the market returns, but it's going to give you some sort of security. Go ahead and think like your wife. It's fine. But the thing is like if you're you're much more risk tolerant, and you see this as something of I'm not saying a career, but I'm before you give your 2, Miguel, I'm going to do mine really quickly because it goes really fast. Okay. I got into it courtesy of John from Modern Life Dating. He said, hey, you need to try some of this stuff, get into crypto and stuff. And I said, you know what? I got some money in the PayPal account. I'll push some over there. And I was a hobby investor. I still kind of am a hobby investor. I've never, when was it 2018 when Bitcoin like got up to like, I think it was 18 or 19,000 and then it just plummeted down. And that was like the first like real crash. Everybody's like, oh my God, and they lost a lot of money like really, really quickly, just to show you just how volatile that even just Bitcoin in 2017 or 2018, I think it was when the first crash happened.
Yeah, it was the end of 2017, beginning.
That's when that was like literally 4 months after I like got into it. Right, this is a Ponzi scheme, scammers. Oh fuck, I just lost $5,000. But then of course I've seen it as low. I think when I got into it, it was like, it wasn't even at 10, right? I mean, it was like to get to 18 or 19 was like, oh my God, it was like getting to 69, right? And so then it plummeted after that. And I'm like, I didn't care. I just, Bitcoin and hold, Bitcoin and hodl, whatever, right? And so I'm like, what do I got to lose? I'll just keep what I got, right? And then it started taking off. Right. And then it started gradually building back up. And then, oh my God, it got past 20. And I remember when 20 was a fucking landmark. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, you had to say to the moon, at 20. 20 was the fucking moon, right?
Yep.
And then, gradually it gets up to the point where it peaked at 69, and then it crashed again. And then I'm like, oh, here we go again. But at that point, I'm like, okay, I understand the nature of the fucking market. Right. Here's what I did, my planning, what I was doing at that time. I didn't put my kid's college fund into the fucking into the market, right? So because I was a hobby investor, because I understand that it's the Wild West. I'm not trying to, outclass my CDs and my FICA or whatever. What's the other one I got? I can't remember the name. But I'm not trying to like outclass my retirement funds with this. I do this because I am risk tolerant, and I know the nature. If I go to the craps table with you fuckers, I know I'm going to lose a lot of money, and then bam, I'm going to make a whole bunch more. And it's like this, and that's the roller coaster. It's fun, but don't bet Junior's college fund on it, right? And don't get it Osteen either, all right?
or the house money and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah. And so my greatest gain was like when this is Bitcoin. I didn't even know what Hex was back then, and when it went up and, profit taking and stuff like that, and it comes down. And I think it was you who explained to me that they don't want to, it's like they're shearing the sheep, I think is the analogy you guys said. And they're shearing the sheep, the whales are shearing the sheep, but they don't want to kill the sheep. They just want to shear the sheep. And once I learned what that was about, and then I should also say, just full disclosure here, you guys are my two guys when it comes to crypto, period. Nothing, we're business partners, right? But also, there's one other individual in Trader SC who I follow quite a lot, and he and I talk probably on a weekly basis, I think. And he's not, he's all altcoins, but he has this plan where he gets to a certain point, and even if it goes up above that, that's when he gets out. It'll go down, it'll go up. That's where it is classically, and he'll use what the software that you guys use with the green bars and the red bars. So he's using the same thing. And once I finally understood sort of the method, the method to his madness, I'm like, oh, I get it now. And they go, oh, it's pump and dumps. Yeah, well, but if you know it's a pump dump, you can make money off of that pump and dump too.
Miguel, you want to go into the rule of 2, 3, 5 a little bit?
Yeah. I want Miguel's biggest gain and biggest loss.
Oh, that, yeah.
I'll say one thing about just Trader Z for 1 second. Great guy, by the way. But what he does takes discipline and strict
steel. Yes.
You have to be emotionless, and you have to have control of your emotions and be disciplined. I only want this much profit. Okay, cool. Boom. All right, I'm out. And it's very difficult because it's sort of when people are playing poker, they go full tilt, they lose themselves, and they keep getting greedy, and then this is where they lose. This is where people lose all their money. So this is why most people, you can look at the chat right now. These guys can barely control their fucking emotions. So it's like this is why buying and holding over time is such a great idea. Like this is why it's investing versus trading. Is you're buying good assets that you're going to hold over a long period of time, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you're going to take some shots over a cycle, which means you're buying in 2023 and midway 2024, and then you're going to take profits whenever the prices go up, and then you've made some money right there. You made multiples on your capital, and that's the rule of 2, rule of 3, rule of 4, which is when you're up 4 or 5 times on your money, you only have to sell 20% of the position to get the original money you put into it. And then now you're just riding it to see how high it goes, and then you can give a little bit back to the casino, but then you take the rest of it off, and then okay, we'll just wait until it crashes, and I'll get back in. That's what the cycles are. But over time, you're building up this nice little nest egg in this asset class with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then you're seeing how it evolves over time. And a lot of times we've had to change our mentality and stuff, but this is the asset class that we're a part of, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to understand when stocks really got popularized were after World War I, they were like the new hot tech stock. I mean, it was tech stocks that went crazy. It was a bunch of telecommunications. It was radio stations. Radio station companies were the hottest stocks back in the day in the roaring 20s and stuff. And people were borrowing and leveraging themselves out, and they were all basically Ponzi's. But out of that stuff, you had great technology come out. You had these 0 to 1 moments. You had Bitcoin created. You had the existence of altcoins with Ethereum. Now you have a decentralized network where you're able to trade value and trade 24/7, 365 nonstop at any point in the time. Then you had the creation of Uniswap, which is like a free DEX where anyone could, where it's basically like free speech, and you're able to create your asset and allow it just to go free. I mean, there's been a lot of great stuff that's happening. We're having tokenized real estate that'll come out at one point, where eventually the whole equities market's going to be tokenized or NFT wise. It can go either direction.
Yes, I said exactly the same thing.
Because right now our financial system runs on fucking bank hours. We're a Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 5.
Yep. We're still living in the world of let's see, the Wolf of Wall Street, man. We're living in fucking boiler rooms. Still.
So okay, so now
so just real quick, Miguel, because like in my 4th book, I talk about like how we're kind of like the old way of thinking, like old order thinking versus new order thinking. You're correct. It's like that. Even the way we run our markets is still in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our education system. I mean, we take, outside, unless you're in a private school and you're lucky to be in a private school. But if they got them through K through 8 or K through 12, they're training them to be line workers for factory jobs that don't exist. There's it's not lost on you that during the whole time you're in grade school, that every time it's a bunch of cowbells and it's a bunch of bells that brr, 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 it was to indoctrinate
dogs, man. Yeah.
It was get the kids used to
conditioning. And I know that, but my background's in behavioral psychology, operant conditioning.
Yeah. So, what was the other questions you wanted me to answer?
What was your best up, and what was your worst down?
My worst down's pretty bad.
That's okay. We're all friends here. It's okay. Take it down.
I want to preface this where some of these were paper gains. So in crypto, sometimes you have coins that are locked up. Sometimes you invest in coins and they're locked up through like a VC lock, which means they get kind of dripped out every 6 months to like every 3 months and stuff for the next 2 years. And there's other coins where they're staked out or they're not liquid, but you own them, but they're not unlocked until you hit a specific time zone or time frame. So I guess on paper, my biggest loss is like over 100 million, but I couldn't sell it. I couldn't sell it because it was locked up. So it was like, it was fun to see the number, but it was, you can't
numbers on a screen. Yeah.
It was just like bullshit, but I was able to take advantage of a lot, millions of dollars, which was really nice. And this was like my own money coins that I bought in 2020 that I bought with my own money from my own businesses that got me all those coins and stuff like that. So, it was, the biggest swing was probably maybe like, I don't know. It was like probably like $4 million in a day.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was incredible. Like you guys don't understand, like when now this happens in stocks as well, because people are in Tesla and they're in Nvidia and they're all these cool stocks. They're in, they're in GameStop or they're in AMC, you get into the hot stocks and they go like crazy and you're like, oh my God, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, like if you even look at equities, they had a bull market from 2009 to like 2001. We literally had like a 12, 13 year bull market in equities where you bought anything, housing, crypto, stocks, you made a lot of money. So it's really life-changing money. But I'll tell you this. So I started in crypto in 2016 and I was able to buy $2 Ethereum, 25-cent a Litecoin. I was able to buy $400 Bitcoin. Didn't buy a lot of it just because I was like, oh, I could just buy more Litecoin. I was just learning crypto. I didn't know really, but basically those went up like crazy. I was like, wow, this is the first time that I ever had that kind of money. I ever hit like $250,000 in my life in terms of like, wow, this is in like liquid. I was like, wow, dude, like, and people don't understand like your first 100,000, how life-changing it is. Just having the average American doesn't even have $500 in their bank account, like, or even $1,000 emergency and you're on your ass. And that's half of America. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But when you get like people always come to us and be like, dude, I would love to hit $1 million, dude. hit that first 100,000 and see how much the weight off your chest. You don't got to worry about your bills as much. You still have to hustle. You still
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. But you have this ability. You can travel a little bit. I mean, like the world is at your oyster. And then now it's just about, you keeping the work state up. Right. But, I really believe in this stuff. I fully committed to crypto and it crashed. And so that money, I took a little bit of profit, but not much. And it went down on me and I was in heavy losses, heavy losses, to the point where probably if it was 300,000 at the top and I was down to maybe 21,000, something like that. So that's how much it crashed. But I kept believing in it. I dollar cost averaged. I did my research in coins that I thought were really good in 2018 and 19, and through a couple trades here and there, and the price is going back up, I got back to my all-time high. And I did not start my YouTube channel until I made $1 million from crypto. This is before.
Repeat that again one more time for the people in cheap seats.
I did not make a YouTube channel until I had $1 million in crypto.
Okay.
And you can look at my YouTube channel. I didn't even start doing videos until the middle of 2020, basically. So because I just felt I didn't want to be I just didn't want to be this liar guy or any of this guy. He's like, oh, come follow me and I do this and this and this when I haven't done anything in crypto. So I wanted to actually make, I took money from my businesses, invested it, made multiples on it. And then I was like, wow, I'm really doing this. And I've been doing this for a while now. And then I started YouTubing. I started getting a lot of people asking me how do I get into crypto? And I just this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And then I met up with, John MLD. I ended up hitting him up, and then I ended up doing a stream with Charlie. He came on my podcast, and then over time, we built a friendship and stuff. And we ended up saying, "Hey, let's do a weekly show." We ended up doing Moon Gang. We've been doing what episode are we on, Charlie? 100 and some change.
We passed 130 recently, and we do that pretty much every week since March of 2020.
So for 2.5 years, so almost 2.5 years, we've done this show religiously every Sunday at 7 p.m. And, and then eventually we just kept getting so many questions because the bull market was starting to go on. Me and Charlie were doing these shows. We bought Bitcoin at $3,000, the low. I bought Litecoin at $22. We bought Ethereum at $79, $81, $83, $90, $100. And me and Charlie on our separate channels were screaming our heads off. You guys, oh my God, it's down to $100. And you know where it ended up going to? In 2021, it ended up Bitcoin went to 69,000. It went from $3,300 to $69,000 in November. Ethereum went from $80 to $4,800. And Litecoin went back to its, I think $600. From $22 to $600, and a lot of other coins that also went up as well and stuff and this is what I tell them now. The market changed and it went from being concentrated to going to more to multi coins, right? But this is what I'm talking about is that we were there early on, and this is the same thing that we're kind of preaching right now is that we ended up me and Charlie recently in November, we bought Bitcoin at 15,500. We bought Ethereum at $800. Ethereum's at $1,600 right now. Bitcoin's at $25,000 right now. And we're seeing that the altcoins, which are the coins that everyone's crying about right now, that are down 99%, 95%, 91%, 81% down. We're seeing which ones are decent. We're going to take some shots on it. Am I putting my entire portfolio? No. I'm putting 3, 4, 5, maybe 10% into a coin that I like, buying it at these prices, dollar cost averaging, dollar cost crypto, and then we're cultivate crypto, which means you take your cryptos and you're able to create more crypto from it, and your dollar cost cryptoing, which means your dollar cost averaging at good prices. And then as the bull market continues on in 24, after the Bitcoin halving in March or April, and then we're in 2025, we're in a bull market. And then we take some profits. That's it. It's rinse and repeat. Now, at some point, it's going to change. Maybe it's not 4-year cycles anymore. Maybe this bull market it takes 6 years to make a bull market. But you got to make hay while you can. It is so right now there's an opportunity where you're able to take your capital and make multiples on it. And I've done it for damn near almost 8 years now. You're able to make these multiples on it where then you could use that to get yourself a housing payment. It's the things that everyone wants to get into crypto. Right now, if crypto was at all-time highs, if Bitcoin today crossed $100,000, everybody in the chat would be like, Miguel, what's the play? Where do we go? Oh my God. Now
everybody wants to be your friend. Yeah.
And
Yep.
that's what I'm talking about.
And when they lose, it's like, son of a bitch, I can't believe I listened to that rat bastard.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? I remember back in
There's a
early
human element
2019.
to all this too,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
there's a huge human element, and like here's the thing, right? Like we said before, we need people who are like nobody's coming to save me. I want self sovereignty, right? But I remember in early 2019, like I was basically starting, with John MLD here in the Red Pill, talking about crypto, and basically nobody listened to us. Like everybody was like kind of looking at us side eye and stuff. I remember there was a webinar. It was in March of 2020 during the Corona crash. And Rich Cooper was in there, and he was talking about stocks and everything. And then, I was talking crypto, and I kind of felt like, the odd man out in the group, because I was like, how many people really understand crypto and really get it at this point? And like that was March 2020. By the end of 2020, of course, I'd been saying for a year and a half, Bitcoin was going to cross 20,000. By the time it did cross 20,000, like we said there, right? Then all of a sudden, everybody wants, to understand it. And it's like, dudes, I've been trying to tell you this for like a year and a half, right?
But I was thrilled that Bitcoin got up to like 17 or 18 before it crashed. I'm like, God damn, this is great. And then,
but it's the same thing. It's the same thing right now, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like me and Miguel are out here, right? And basically nobody in the world like understands enough about crypto to understand the 4-year cycles. And so everybody's like, yeah, Bitcoin's never going to get above 69K ever again. And you guys are scammers. This is all trash, blah, 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 just grifter. A year and a half from now, same rinse and repeat story. Everybody's going to be like, hey, how do I get into this? Can I really understand it? I'm like, bros, if you would have just taken the crypto mindset course here in the year of accumulation, the year of 2023, when crypto's down, you buy when it's red, when there's blood in the streets. What does Warren Buffett say? He says, buy when there's blood in the streets.
Yep.
Right. And then everybody says that, but nobody fucking does it. And so, now's the time to do that, to go against the grain, to be a value investor. And I would say, we have about 6 to 8 months before the halving. That's when every professional in crypto is getting into this space. When did they sell? 18 months after the halving. So 2 years from now. So, that right there is the formula. Pretty simple, but we say these things and, we don't need people to believe it on faith or anything like that. That's why we teach people, right? Because if you compound your knowledge as much as you're compounding your investments, right? That's what really allows you to take profit at the right time, get in at the right time, and then also stay in with conviction when the world is against you.
Right. That's what I was going to say, is like, and I tell you what's funny is now, Charlie, you just moved to Las Vegas, like not too long. You haven't even been in Vegas for a year yet. Okay.
No, yeah, about 9 to 10 months, something like that.
Yeah, coming out now. Miguel's been around for a while, and I have lived in the state of Nevada for probably a sum total of, goddamn, almost 20 years. And I grew up around casinos because my mom lived over, and up in Tahoe on the Nevada side and everything. And then, my first jobs were being like a graphic designer and then an art director for like some very major, like big casinos. Okay. Like, owned by Mandalay Bay or owned by MGM. One thing I've learned about casinos and how I think people think I have some sort of like godlike knowledge of marketing and stuff, like it actually came from casinos. It came from casino marketing. And even in this instance, when it comes to like crypto and stuff, now, what is the one game that all three of us play? What table game is it that we play when we go out to like Red Rock Casino or wherever the fuck we're going? Craps. Yes. All right. And in a microcosm, right? Craps is kind of like, it's like there's the ups and the downs. It's like you got a guy or girl who's rolling and just keeps going and going, and like a high roller, like one you have a long roll and you're making money for everybody at the fucking table. Right. Everybody's making money because they're making stupid field bets, but they're also, buying numbers. They're putting come bets on that. If you know how to play, craps, you don't understand the terminology, but one roller, one guy who's like going and throwing the dice and, get a long ass roll, but everybody at the table's laughing and they're having a good time until the fucking 7 comes up. You're like, that was a good run, and everybody like, and so, yep. And I think that's what the appeal is. And that's kind of like, I think why we kind of like locked in when we first got to Vegas. Right. Because we're all craps players. I'm like, I should have known because I know that's what you like to do. Right. But I think in sort of like in a psychology sort of level, like I'm not losing my shit or anything like that, but I'm just saying like there's got to be some risk tolerance. I've seen guys, hell, I've been at the tables in Lake Tahoe with Justin Waller and Sterling Cooper. That's when I was teaching them how to play craps, and they got it. They instantly got it. And like some people, you just like, okay, this is the coming out bet, blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to give them the mechanics of it. Sterling and Justin just picked up on it. And I was like, man, they were like the fastest learners I've ever taught craps to, right? Well, yeah, because that's kind of they understand the mechanics of the game and they loved it, right? I mean, even after that, like Sterling was like going out to the clubs and craps after that.
There's a story with me, Miguel, and Sterling going to the tables. Me and Sterling, we'd all had a few bits to drink, right? So we're just kind of just going and having a good time at Caesars. Me and Sterling, no strategy whatsoever, just rolling dice. Miguel's there with strategy. We're making shit tons of money, and Miguel's just like, "What's going on?"
I wouldn't play the field. I wouldn't fucking play the field, and like these guys are playing the field, just murdering me.
It's just a random day, but it generally doesn't play like that.
I used to be like that too. It's like, okay, because there's a tactic called the Iron Cross, right? I'm like, oh, gotta get the perfect Iron Cross, and it's like just as you're getting the last bit in, it's like, boom, you're fucked.
Right?
I could have made so much. But again, it's that long roll. Like, what's your longest roll? I think you had a record, didn't you? Or was it Charlie that had the record?
It was. I've had some good ones, but Charlie, I think, has had the longest roll. It was ridiculous.
How long? Like, what the duration of it? How long?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
So it was an hour and a half of a roll. An hour and 10 minutes.
That was your bull market for that table was an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was at the Bellagio, and the guy who they time it, I guess, right? And they were like, "That's the longest roll I've seen in the 6 months here at the Bellagio." I'm like, I'll take it.
Shit. Hey.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let me get to some of these super chats, and then we will discuss what you guys are doing next. Let me just run through these really fast. I'm just going to read them because I don't know why the super chats are like locking up on me right now. Let's see. I figured men using Bitcoin to protect their wealth from divorces would send it to $1 million alone. Very funny. All right. Yeah, you're right. 3 Diglets. I know who you are. You guys think it's possible that a large majority of the cryptos, perhaps 90% or more, will never again see all-time highs?
Yes.
Yeah. And 90% are trash. Like I would say 90 to 95% of cryptos don't invest in them.
Okay. And you would agree. You would concur with that.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't mean like they can't.
Would you concur with this?
I would concur with this, sir.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them will just maybe come back to their old all-time high or just below it, but they're not going to outperform it and stuff. It's just they've lost a lot of interest. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah. I tell you what's funny is like me hanging out with Trader SZ and like he trades and shit that you probably don't even like the letters and everything. You would never even know what the fuck they were, right? But he knows the shit to do it. Like I've never even heard some of the coins he's talking about. Thanks for that super chat, 3 Diglets. Let's see. What else do we got here? Thoughts on AVAX, AVAX. They have a partnership with Amazon.
It's a solid coin.
They're what they're really known for is basically if you have a random RC20 token or a token that exists in another ecosystem, you can essentially bring it over to there and you get yourself your own blockchain. And then so it's the easiest way to start a blockchain as like a small crypto coin company. So you can just like if I had like Uniswap token and I moved it over into AVAX, I can have the Uniswap L1 system on top of AVAX. It's really cool. I mean, we've had a couple coins that we were playing around with AVAX and stuff. So AVAX is one of the it's one that I'm slowly accumulating, just like taking little pot shots at it. It's a good coin.
Corey Rudforth, ETH, PLS, PHEX, PLSX, ILV, FTM to the moon. There you go. There's your £2 super chat money for there's that attention you ordered. Okay. Crypto. Okay. This is Nycoin research. Crypto isn't safe? ? Neither are modern women. The CMC and the crypto equivalent to a condom. Yeah. Is the crypto equivalent to what's CMC?
The crypto mindset course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, crypto mindset. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's such a funny
insurance policy. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Oh, I should also say that Richard Hart is like the I have his quote like burned into my memory, which is like liquor, ladies, and leverage will get you wrecked. And that's not about crypto.
Everything. That's everything.
Yeah, that's about life.
And one more, lawyers.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I got some other like hash ones here. Hang on. This one. Three Diglets. Do you Rolo? Do you own at least one full Bitcoin? No, I don't. But I do own several full Ethereums. So, I presume you guys own a lot of full Bitcoins, correct?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
BTC? No? Okay. Do you actually have the actual? Remember when they gave out like the actual physical coin for that? Do you have any?
We have some. We have some.
Yeah, you have some of those, like the physical coins? Okay.
Physical coins, yeah, we have them.
Wow. Okay. Nikoin Research. I stole Federal Reserve money to buy Hex. Was that a good idea?
FBI, open up! Oh my god.
Yeah, don't raid Junior's college fund. Oh, hey, Dolomite. Hi, Dolomite. Dolomite says, great show, guys. There you go. Thank you for $55. I promise Dolomite, I will take that and put that into a very wise investment. I will buy gold with that. Thank you. Great show, guys. Miguel is an amazing guy. Richard to win SEC. Fuck the haters. Thank you. Yeah, fuck all the haters.
Shout out to Dolomite, man. OG.
Dolomite. I don't know if this is a troll or not, but I'm just going to take it as if it is or not. Crypto Class.
She's legit.
It's a chick. Rolla, if I were to make an NFT collection, what do you think the people are looking for? Tits and ass. Clearly. No, remember what was it? The girls who were like the OnlyFans girls, and they were like making like NFTs of the girls' pictures.
Yeah.
The club, like the simp coins. They're simp coins. Simp coins. Go with simp coins.
and there were so many simp coins that they decided to make a simp DAO. Which is a place where you could actually take all your it's basically a place where you could deposit all your cuck tokens to like add vector value.
God, that was funny as hell. I got some haters in here that I thought were pretty funny for I'm going to throw them out here. I'll just read them real quick.
Sure.
There's a massive difference between a $20 book and a $1,000 course. Yes. Where is your $1,000 course, Rollo? Hold on. I'm going to do the John Travolta meme right now. I don't have one yet. Would you guys suggest that I make one? Yeah, maybe I will at some point, but I don't have one now. So there you go. Maybe, what's funny is if I'm a grifter, I'm probably strategically, financially, I'm the worst fucking grifter you guys know, because I am like every time I'm with you guys and I'm hanging out with like Mike Sartain, and I know how much Mike makes, and I know how much John Orlando, owner of Sticky Paws, makes. I know how much you guys make. I know how much Steve Fowler makes. I know like all these guys are like, I know what your net worth is because it's like public knowledge practically. And I'm hanging out with or Kiyosaki, right? Kiyosaki's probably worth what, 100 million, maybe twice that now. I'm not sure, but I happen to know that Ken McElroy is close to a billionaire. Okay. Mm-hmm. People think I'm way more paid than I really am. I just hang out with these. I just work here. Okay? So don't put me in that asset class, because I don't own a jet, and nor probably will I ever in my life.
All your friends are rich. That's where you're heading.
All my friends are rich. Yes, and that's not a bad thing. So let's see. Should I just flash my Coinbase account when I first meet women?
Dude. Story about this. A random ass story.
With your wallet, my friend, your crypto wallet, but it's leading with your wallet.
I met this guy in Tokyo when I was a recruiter. What he used to do, like when he went to the bar or whatever, he used to take his fucking tax return to the bar and use that to pick up chicks. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it was the worst.
No, there's a better way. And I'm gonna quote my good friend
Dump that bitch,
Tom Likas. Here's the old way to do that: is you would go to like these ATMs. Remember when ATMs actually spit out like a paper receipt after you like got your money out of there? Yep. And everybody just leave their ATM receipts all around the ATM. So what you do is you go in the trash can, or you probably just look on the ground, right? You go until you find like one that has like a savings or checking account in like the $100,000 range, and you have that, and you use that to write your phone number back when numbers were a thing, right? You'd write your phone number on the back of that. You call me sometime, and it's Brilliant.
Oh, that's funny.
Fucking brilliant. You can't do that anymore, obviously, but like back in the day,
Well,
that was a fucking stroke of
You
genius.
can take a digital copy of your checking account, right? And then you can use a Photoshop to change the numbers around, right? You could do that.
Yeah, you
Now
could,
people is-
I suppose. Oh, you know what? There's a I'm surprised there's not an app for this already, but I know that there's an app that like it gives you like more it's like you have a live stream going on. It's a fake live stream, right? And it shows like there's 10,000 people watching this live stream. Wow. So you're like checking out girls on the Vegas Strip. You go, hey baby, come over here, we're live on such and such, and they look and they see it's like 10,000 people or 20,000 people are watching. Oh my God, it just generates social proof. I'm like, God damn, that's sneaky fucker shit, but it's I respect the game, man. What was the other one? It's not the Riz one, but there's another program that does something similar to that, but it just generates this sort of false sense of like social proof and pre-selection.
Yeah.
I got a couple more last three. Rolo, so basically you're thinking like your wife or a woman if you're not investing in crypto. Dude, I feel like I'm like Jordan Peterson debating Kathy Nua. So what you're saying is no, bro, no. But I'm going to say this is that women tend to be more risk averse. Men tend to be more risk tolerant. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Again, I'm not saying everybody should like jump into crypto. In fact, I don't think a vast majority of people should jump into crypto because most people don't have jack shit in their savings and they don't own their own house. And it's like, take care of your shit before you even consider it. Right. This is something like people who are into it and they're doing it's not like they're not like trying to sell you, a gold mine. They're not trying to sell you like security. This isn't security. Okay. But it's the whole thing with crypto is like you got to have that risk tolerance. So that you want the red pill for crypto, that's probably the basis of it, I would think, is risk tolerance, risk averse. And the same thing applies to the stock market too. So if you're going to talk shit about the crypto market, start talking about printing money. Start talking about the Federal Reserve. Start talking about Wall Street. Talk, S&P 500. Whatever. Why are you throwing shit at guys like Charlie and Miguel, myself for that matter? When there's Sam Bankman-Fried walked away, for fuck's sake. Why are you coming here? But and then this one was pretty good. How do you guys feel about the yield curve inversion when it uninverts? Is historically when most pain in the stock market occurs. We haven't seen that part, or that haven't even hit that yet.
I saw that in the chat earlier, and he's wrong. The yield curve did invert. We did have a technical recession in the summer of 2022, and the Biden administration changed the freaking definition of a recession to suit their needs so their administration wouldn't look bad. So that's the first thing he needs to understand. The second thing he needs to understand is, there's still a risk of basically having a recession within the next 12 months. It will probably happen, right? And basically, you have to look at a bunch of different investments. Real estate's probably going to get hit the hardest from that. And crypto's already hit its 4-year bottom. We had one event like that in March of 2020. It was a recession for about a month and a half or so, and an official one. And Bitcoin did basically kept its lows. It didn't get to new lows. It basically followed its 4-year cycle and did very, very well after that. So any of those types of things, even though you should take them extremely seriously, have cash on hand to weather that type of storm. But just from what we likely will see from the Fed, it will probably be relatively short-lived.
Yeah, I love this. Betting 1 to get 100. Yeah, I remember. Do you guys remember what I know Miguel does? Remember what George Gammon said? When it comes like I bet a quarter, like that I'm going to get $1 in the future rather than like I'm going to break even or I'm going to get 50 cents. Like I forget what his saying was for that.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically like the returns are going to soften quite a lot and stuff like that. And then, he was especially talking about getting into treasuries and stuff. Like, I mean, even right now, like if you now, not financial advice, of course, but basically if I was a baby boomer and I was retiring right now, what I personally would do, right, is as soon as the interest rates go to 6%, I would buy a 10-year treasury bond from the US government. If I had because obviously in retirement age, hopefully you would have $1 million at that age. You could take $1 million and buy a 10-year treasury. That 10-year treasury would pay you $52,500 a year in income for the next 10 years. And on year 10, you would get another $52,000, and then you would get back your $1 million. So because you lock it in at that 10-year rate, because right now the 10-year bond is at 4.75, with the 2 extra increases as well as it stays there, you can get about a 5% to a 5.25% interest rate on the 10-year bonds. You're getting like a $50,000 a year income for $1 million, and on top of that, when the interest rates come back down, roughly to 3% at the end of 2025, you'll turn a $1 million bond into $1.4 million on principal. Plus, you would have gotten paid $52,500 for like 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. That's because the interest rates are going to come down, because obviously things are starting to crack. Like real estate's really, really hurting. I mean, it's legitimately like not doing great. I mean, people want to buy houses. People my age want to buy houses, but they literally can't afford to do so. Because
somebody threw out a stat saying, like, what is it? Or was it you that said that 25% of people under 65 own a house?
Yeah.
So yeah, 25% of the population under 65 don't own a house.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's more and more. I mean, more and more people live with their parents and stuff. Now that is historically normal. I mean, it is like, it is historically normal. Multiple generations live on the same property. That's normal. So maybe we're reverting to the mean, but they're forcing the mean. Like basically, what's going on right now is like, I mean, they're essentially kind of over the next 20, 30, 40 years, it's almost like landed nobility. If you own land, you're like, wow, it's really strange. It's like they're trying to turn us back into like old school, like, Europe, basically.
Yeah, more or less. So I want to, okay, that's it for, oh wait, one last one. 3 Diglets. Bored Ape has such a strong brand. Thoughts on ApeCoin?
Inflationary.
Are you guys trying to like get me to talk about the Red Pill Lions NFT? Because I will if you just what you're gonna say, man. I can talk about it. You don't have to beat around the bush. I know I have an NFT. Okay, thank you. We get it. Which, by the way, minted and went full and was never a rug pull. We made all of our utilities and is still the only NFT, to my knowledge, that Miguel has ever gotten behind before. Yeah. and because we did what we said we were fucking do, and we did it, right? And it's out there. We minted it. We didn't do a rug pull. We had all our utility. Hell, they created the Savo brothers created a very strong Discord community as a result of that. So yeah, we're still doing it. I mean, we haven't minted a new one or anything like that, but we'll probably wait till things like, pick up a little bit more.
Can I say some little news on that and stuff as well?
Sure.
Is like we got some future plans for the Red Pill Lions. We are working with Rocky and stuff when Mintra goes live on Pulse Chain. That's all I'm going to say for now. But for people who know. But I want to shout out to Rocky and Kevin and stuff. We just made a movie with them, a horror film, Red Pill horror film that is going to be played at South by Southwest next year. So our movie got invited, and it's the first of many Red Pill movies that we're trying to launch and stuff. So if you don't write history, they're going to write it for you.
Right.
So we're starting with the horror genre, and over time, hopefully we can actually make a real Red Pill movie for the Red Pill to tell our story, versus like letting corporate media make a Red Pill movie for us, which is going to be bullshit, basically. And then hopefully over time we'd make a crypto movie that's really crypto, basically. And that's kind of our goal and stuff, is to like do that sort of thing, as well as it's kind of there's a reason me and Rolo and Charlie and stuff talked about going to Vegas. We kind of cut the trend before everyone started moving here.
Yep.
And now all of Hollywood's moving to Vegas magically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's we'll talk about that at the very end. But so what I want to say is this. So like, can you give us a rundown for Cultivate Crypto Q3 for 2023? Sure.
All right. Yeah. So you guys, this time around, right, this is Crypto Mindset Q3. You call it the 9/11 edition, right? It is basically what we're discussing in this quarter, the planned demolition of the financial system that's happening right now. We are having every country on the planet is coming out with the central bank digital currency, and we are going to show you guys how you can take control of your money and onboard yourself into crypto. So the Crypto Mindset course is a course that takes you from A to Z, so you can be a complete novice, know nothing about anything about crypto, and by the end of it, you'll be wheeling and dealing on Ethereum, Solana, AVAX. You know how to use bridges. You have wallets. You'll be staking. You'll know where to research, where to go look for prices. And the most important thing, you'll know how to hold your keys and send transactions. So we get a person from absolute novice to intermediate. But one thing that we always do is every single crypto mindset course, because these courses are quite large. They're the single largest, I would say, course in all of crypto. Typically, we have to, when the crypto mindset course starts, once sales end, it will start on the 22nd of this month on Friday, and it will be 2 hours in the morning on a particular subject, then 2 hours of AMA. So once we teach the class and we teach the whole seminar, then from there we take a 2 hour to an hour AMA, live AMA, all recorded. All of it's recorded, so you can shoot any question you want at us. And then typically we end up doing a non-recorded portion where you can ask us all the spicy questions that you can't have on YouTube. And we do that twice a day, 2 days in a row. So we usually do 2 days on, 2 days off until we finish the whole thing. It's over 22 webinars. So I'm telling you, it's like we're doing like a 4-hour rock concert in the morning and then a 4-hour rock concert at night. And we do that for like we do it for like 4 sold out shows. 2 days in a row, and then we take 2-day breaks so people catch up. It's all pre-recorded, so if you happen to miss a class, you literally can just watch the pre-record. But we always recommend for people to watch it. The classes start at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and
those are Zoom classes, right?
There's a Zoom classes, all live. You'll see me and Charlie in here teaching. We'll be showing charts. We'll be showing everything, you guys. And so as soon as you join, within 24 hours, you get added to a Telegram group. From there, you will receive that email. You will be able to join the Telegram group. Once the sales end, you will receive a couple of webinars to help you start off. These are pre-recorded webinars, 5 of them, to kind of get you started on how to create a wallet, private keys, and basically the basic setup and which exchanges to go to. From there, we start the actual real classes, all live, and we also answer any questions. Just if anyone gets stuck on the first 5 pre-recorded webinars, we get everyone up to snuff, and then from there we continue the classes along. And if we, for some reason, we see that the guys aren't they're stuck on something, we'll literally go back and teach another 4 or 5 hour webinar to get everyone caught up and go. And that's how meticulous we are. This is how we've been able to onboard and teach over 14,000 people in crypto, from the red pill space and from the crypto space and from just the tech nerd space and stuff. But because of this is why the red pill is so well equipped. The reason the red pill knows so much about crypto is because me and Charlie have been really pushing this thing, and this is why we have so much crypto knowledge in this space. Like, this is why we call ourselves the red pill of finances, because we're trying to teach the most base people on the planet how to hold their own money and how to be their own bank. And we teach all the basics. We end up having a 2-day break, and then from there we start getting into more intermediate stuff when we start talking about different ecosystems. What's a bridge? How do I move assets from here to here, from A to B? How do we? What's leverage? Is it dangerous? Yes. Should you do it? Probably not. But if you're going to do it, here's some basic rules, but please be very careful. One webinar that we push to the front all the time is basically the risk webinar, which is it's basically a webinar on how not to wreck yourself, how not to go overexposed. And it's a webinar that we used to put it in the middle to intermediate to advanced side, and over the years we moved it to the front because it's so damn important. The risk webinar is so damn important because you have to know what you're willing to invest and what not invest and what's dangerous. Should you borrow money from the mafia? No.
Should you launder money for the mafia? No.
It's crazy you have to say these things. Or like, should I take out a second mortgage on my house? Should I own one of those? Do you not know what that is? Get in the course. I mean, but look, every other crypto course on this planet is pre-recorded, because we've met a lot of these crypto dudes. They're fucking lazy. They're lazy. They want, okay, how can I take passive? There's nothing passive about this course. This is a fucking boot camp. Like, we put you through. This is hell week, hell month. We put you through the ringer. But by the time you're out of it, you're a fucking Navy SEAL when it comes to crypto, man.
You're an animal.
SEAL Team 7, Whale Team 7.
Like a sexual Tyrannosaurus.
You'll be the best expert of crypto in your known group of people, like your family, friends, extended network, usually town and everything around you. Like, if you take this course, like, everybody who's applied the knowledge, everybody who's actually studied it has been like, yeah, everybody's asking me for knowledge now, right? And that's what we want to give to you. And we tell everybody, hey, pay it forward. When that happens, like, we started out with nothing, and now we're paying it forward to you guys. You guys started out with no knowledge in crypto. pay it forward to your family and friends or whoever might need it. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know, we try to preach that as well.
You know, when I first got okay, this is like before like Miguel and I like went into business together in August of last year. You know what I'm talking about. But I can remember watching you guys, because you hit me up to do like to help you guys out with Cultivate Crypto. You were friends with John, and then we became friends as a result of that. And I've always got behind I only get behind certain people. Okay, I got behind you guys, I get behind Mike Sartain, I get behind, you know, that the people that I do work, I co-brand my Rational Male with. I always want to be able to vet them. I always want to be able to, like, I will go, like, I wouldn't, like when MLD was doing his body language mastery. Yeah. I sat out of the first one because I wanted to make sure what I was getting in. I wanted to audit the class, right? I wanted to make sure I was getting into. The second one comes around, then yeah, I'll be happy to help you promote that because it was the real deal. I've been working with you guys for God knows how long now. And I can tell you right now that one of the things that I think you guys have it's maybe it's a lot of work for you and it's tough for you because the niche that you guys are in changes so quickly. Yeah. So you can, like, people say, oh, these guys are always throwing classes. Yeah, every quarter, because the fucking market changes every quarter. Okay. And
crypto spoils like milk. Crypto spoils like milk. It really is like if we make a video, it's if it's a month, if it's like a 2-month old video, the information is irrelevant damn near. Because the news changes so fast. That's why 1 year in crypto is like a decade in the equities market. It's like it moves so fast. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say is like you guys got it rough. So like people say, Rollo, where's your class? Well, you know what? I might damn well make one pretty soon. I've got the first one ready for the player's handbook for the players workshops, all ready to go. Just doing post production right now. Maybe I'll charge $1,000 since you suggested that's what the going rate is. Thanks, brah. But the thing is this as I got like I make that. And I put it out there and I put the videos out there and it's evergreen, right? Not you guys. You guys have to do the fucking hard ass work every quarter so that you can say, here's what's coming up. Here's what we've been through. Here's what's coming up next. And correct me if I'm wrong, on quarter 4, you guys bust your ass because you not only are you doing quarter 4, but you're also doing your forecast and it's a much bigger production because you're coming up with the next year. And it's even worse this year, because it's an election year. So think about these guys are the hardest working motherfuckers in crypto. Yeah, I'm going to get behind them. I don't care if I'm working with them or I'm not. I'm still going to get behind these guys because they've been putting out a quality product for how long have you guys been doing this? You did it before I even came on board.
Yeah, I think we've done almost, I can't remember if we're on our 10th course now or not. I have to count them up, but September of 2020, every quarter since then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So before I even knew who you guys were.
Yeah. And you know, like
MLD and you guys were doing it at that point. But like you've been doing it for a while now. So
and like Miguel said, right, we've done 130 Moon Gang episodes. On my channel, I've done over 600 episodes by myself as well. And Miguel's done a whole lot too. So, you know, I think sometimes when people see that, they're like,
people always just say, well, you know, you're going to defend them because you have an affiliate deal with them, blah, funnel marketing. Well, yeah, but you're like, Miguel is like my next one of my best friends, right? And working with him every day, he's a real dude. And if that's not enough, they also have their own YouTube channels where they do this shit every fucking day, or every week, you know? Yeah, for free. So I think it was Hotep Jesus who said, you know, everyone is a grifter, but the difference is, what do you give back? And you guys give back, constantly giving back. I know what you guys do behind the scenes as well too, but it's like constantly giving back, and you're giving back value as a result of this. And every quarter, it's a new product. It's a new freaking thing. So understand that takes a lot of work, and there's a lot of backside to this, right? What is it? You know, the front end and the back end, you know, when you're making a website, the back end to this is like a lot. I don't envy you at all, man. So
me and Charlie are like 24/7 answering questions.
Yeah.
24/7 answering questions, like all day, every day. We're streaming consistently. Like we're probably I think Charlie legitimately might be the most live streaming crypto YouTube channel in all crypto. I think he live streams like 6 days a week at least.
Right.
It's a marathon, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, you guys and Trader SZ are the only people that I consider authorities in this field. So But anyways, give us the dates again. Give us when's it going to go down? When does it close? Give us the logistics.
Can you mod me so I could put the link in the chat?
Yeah. I will. Can I put mine in there? Put mine. Of
course. Yeah.
Actually, I'll put it in. Hang on. You guys tell me the logistics. I'll put it up in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
go for it.
Yeah. So basically, today, the course is live now. You have 5 days to get in. It closes on Tuesday at midnight Pacific Standard Time. The course will start on Friday, the 22nd of September, and will end roughly around the 8th of October. Now, for guys who are in the crypto mindset course, at that time, we have a special gift for you guys and a special little treat. We're launching something special, but we'll talk about that during the inside the crypto mindset course. But basically, I'll hint at it. Basically, people have been asking us for a long time about like how does an NFT work? How does this? We've always done an NFT course with our buddies Anorak, Red Nitrous, and a bunch of other guys and stuff like that. The Red Pill Lions. So we've decided to create a mini course for guys that want to learn more about that subject. It's been something they've been asking us for like 2+ years already. So we decided, hey, we'll launch it. We're doing a test run for it, and those classes will start on the 16th of October. So basically, me and Charlie are pretty much full-time working in courses, teaching people all of September to October. Yeah.
Cool.
So two straight months of just like putting content out, helping people out. And this is why we've had the most success in the space, is because we're willing to put on this time and effort. People don't understand how hard it is to and to tell you the truth, yes, I would say 80% of the information is on YouTube. It's just people don't have the willpower to go get it and
aggregate it. Yeah.
And it takes
years.
It takes so much time. Like you have to watch so many videos. And what we've done is because we've done this with so many people, we get you up to that intermediate level so quickly. We speed up. Like this is why it's worth so much money as well, is because the time saving is so insane. If you try to learn it for yourself today, let's just say you got into crypto today, you would really not start grasping things until maybe the middle of next year if you're lucky. Around this time, you were like, if you had taken the course and you sped up, you're now still in the year 2023 with the knowledge of someone who's been in crypto since deep into 2024, and that 1 year is so incredible. Like a lot of the gains that we made is because we bought coins in 2019 and 2020, and it translated to these massive returns in 2021. Well, do you want to waste your 2020 or 2019 trying to learn? Like, speed it up. It's valuable. Alex Hormozy talks about this all the time. Like, you have to. This is really important. It's like speed kills. And we get you to this level, and then from there you have this network. The other thing too is like we create these beautiful chat groups and networks where it's a safe place to ask questions. It's very, very, very dangerous to ask a question. Go ask, hey, if you go on Twitter, hey, I'm having trouble on MetaMask. You'll get hit up by 15 scammers trying to, hey, I'll help you. I'm from MetaMask support. If you put your seed phrases right here, give me your passcode. I'll help you out. And they steal all your money. and this happens on Discord, on Telegram, on Instagram, on Twitter. And this is why we've created this special groups here, so where there's no dumb questions. You ask the questions, we help you out. We got the links, we got everything, we got all the safety nets to help people out. But you have to put the work in. We can bring you to the river, but you got to drink, right? But we built a pretty big river, so there's plenty of water.
Yeah. Anything else you got for us, Charlie? I got one last thing here.
The last thing I'll say is just don't forget that the course is only available till Tuesday, September 12th at midnight Pacific Standard Time. It does close because we have to get everybody into the course properly. So if you do buy the course, basically buy it before then. If you try to buy it after that, you won't be able to get in. Sorry. But once you do buy the course, within 24 hours, you will get an email from our team, which will give you the link to enter our Telegram so that you can join the course, join everybody else that's in there, and start having a good time, start looking at some of the pre-recorded videos that we have for you guys, and then start sharing information.
Excellent. I got one last. Where did it go? Oh, this was good. I actually got. There we go. I put this up here. This is from Karn. I took the course. I was worried about just buying BTC on Cash App. They had me jumping across several chains, playing with crypto games in a few weeks. Excellent value. Thank you, sir. That is a glowing endorsement. Yeah. Yeah, you guys been doing this for a long time, man, and I'm always gonna get behind you guys when you do shit like this. So, so that's it for today, guys. Yes, I will be on my show tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna get back to nuts and bolts. We're gonna get back to some real Rep Hill stuff and like more. I think we might get into like gendered topics, like respect, like love, like that kind of stuff. It's just so I'm in this kind of mode where I kind of feel like I have to re-explain some basic shit because too many people like sort of, you know, corrupt it, or they take it out of context, or they think, oh, those red pill guys talk about this. So we're going to get back to nuts and bolts tomorrow. So you're going to get no red meat tomorrow. Sorry. I mean, unless something really bad happens in the next 24 hours. But we'll be getting back to nuts and bolts, and we'll be getting it back to the basics. So
What's the saying? What's the saying? There's always a new 18-year-old, right?
Oh, no. Well, I was going to, before we go though, Miguel, you wanted to say what we're doing in Vegas before we go.
Sure.
Here's the special spicy stuff.
Sure. There's something blocking the screen. There's like some comment or something.
Oh, I just pulled it off.
Oh, okay. So, so in Las Vegas, we are creating Red One.
Definitely still up there, by the way.
Yeah, it's still up.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm my StreamYard's like hella slow right now. I think it might be Charlie's connection. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna hide here. There
we go. Yeah. Okay. So right now, one thing that we've been building, we've been talking about for almost about a year and a half is since the last CME. We met up there. We did the Avengers stream and stuff, the original one. Everyone was there. I was there. Gammon was there. And one thing that me and Rollo talked about, and then Charlie as well, is we need our own hub on the West Coast because Fresh and Fit's got the East Coast on lock. They're our buddies or our friends, and we're here right now. Where we just did Fresh and Fit yesterday, and so they're a team. But the thing is like. There's nothing in the West Coast. There's nothing on this side of the Mississippi. So what we did is we decided, hey, let's go to Vegas. Everyone can fly to Vegas. It's a great hub zone, and it's good on taxes, and it's not in LA, right? And we have people moving from all over the world over to Vegas because there's so much opportunity. So we've been slowly building up something called Red One Studios, and we're basically building out one of the biggest podcasting properties in all of the.
I know,
but but basically we're going to create the Red Pill hub for the Red Pill and crypto on the West Coast and stuff. So we're going to have a lot of shows out of there, and we're already having people book out with us right now, which is really cool.
So that's Miguel's side. Like this is a dream. This is a dream come true, right? I think this is something that we talked about about this time last year. I think it was beginning of August of 2022. And you and I had just gone to go talk to an individual named Patrick Bet David.
Right.
And he was building out the Valuetainment Studios in Fort Lauderdale. And I had been helping Jedediah Bila. I've been helping out Adam Sosnick, sort of develop their shows. And I had sort of this notion that I might want to actually work with Valuetainment for a while. Well, it didn't, that deal, I'm not going to go into details, but that didn't work out. So me and Miguel, we were driving the Uber car and we were coming back from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, and Miguel's like, why don't we just do it in Vegas? I'm like, yeah, because I'm already live in Reno. He's already in Vegas. I'm like, so let's start looking for studios, try to build it up. It took some time, granted, it took about almost a year now. Right. But then we got locked in with Mike Sartain. We started doing some work with Sticky Paws, and we sort of got our roots down in Vegas a little bit more. And now we know a lot. We have network. We have so much talent right now. We've got so many people who want to be on board with this. Access Vegas is the number one podcast in Las Vegas right now, and we don't even do close to the numbers that Mine and Fresh do. So we only go up from here. But we have a sort of a unique situation in Las Vegas right now, and we're outgrowing our boots. We need a new set of clothes, and so now we've got sort of this notion to do a larger scale studio where we have multiple shows. I'm recruiting talent right now. We're talking because by my philosophy, anyways, is that a studio lives and dies by the talent and the shows and the podcasts and the personalities that you have in there. You can have the nicest multi-million-dollar studio in planet Earth. And doesn't matter if it's Tennessee, Florida, or Texas. If you don't have the talent and you don't have the people in there who actually, you know, people want to watch, it's just $1 million studio that nobody's putting anything into. It's heartless, right? So we've been working with a lot of people. We have a lot of networking, and again, I'm still recruiting. I know Trent Lawrence is recruiting and helping out. We have a lot. I'll tell you what's funny is like once people got caught wind of this, everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to be on board with it. Everyone wants to be at the bottom level, you know, and really move up. And again, it's money, muscles, and game. So it's the red pill. We got the game. We got the psychology. We got the girls. We got, you know, Mike Sartain. We got myself. We got the money side. We got you guys. We got, you know, we can always get Kiyosaki. We've already just did a full show with Kiyosaki this year. We haven't had Jason Hartman on the show yet, but I definitely want him to come out to Vegas so we can do a dedicated show with him. You know, and we know enough people that we are rapidly becoming the West Coast hub for this kind of stuff, for this niche that we're in. I guess if you want to call it male self-improvement, great. Money, muscles, game, all of that is frame. All that goes into Red One Studios, and that's what we're building up right now. And it's really a very exciting time. So this is the fun part, by the way. It's stressful as fuck, but this is actually the fun part. The really shit part is going to be once we get it starts to become a grind and it starts to become a machine. That's when we got to remember this time. So we got to enjoy ourselves now. But it's a lot of fun because it's risk tolerance versus being risk averse. Right. And so when you're risk tolerant, you create great things. Dare to do something. Well, this is what we're daring to do. You want to know why we did an NFT? So we could use that money to fund other great projects. Wow. And now here we are a year later, and what are we doing? We have done so much. And I'm going to just toot my own horn and toot Miguel's horn because I know he won't do it. So when we were talking about putting this whole thing together, and we're like, oh, you know, we don't know where to go. We don't know any people here. We don't know what, you know, should we buy this building? Should we do this kind of stuff? And we just like, you know, we just had to sort of take our time, but we're taking chances. And I will say this right now, Miguel and myself have probably done more in the last 10 months than I would say most other podcasters, with a few exceptions, right, have done in the last 3 years. So right. When we're producing the kinds of things that we do, and we're producing the kind of content we do, and the products that we do, I have no qualms about sort of, you know, getting to the top of the heap and just crowing for a little bit, because you guys know what I'm talking about. We have so many irons in the fire right now that we can't even really talk about. Right. One we can talk about is Red One Studios right now. And I don't think people really appreciate the amount of work that's gone into even just getting it to the point from like theory to practice and to get it into reality. Man,
the audience is kind of like,
yeah, then we're doing Vegas, then we're doing all this other shit. We have so much going on right now. And I have to go and listen to these low limit players like talk shit about me or talk shit about you or talk shit about Charlie or talk shit about whoever. And it's like, you know, vaya con Dios, man, peace be with you. But like, we're going to go and make this hit fucking show and the best podcast in Las Vegas in less than a year. Okay. Have fun with whatever it is you're doing. But you know, the reason hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring. That's going to be we're going to put that up on the fucking top of the goddamn wall up there.
Well, and nobody notices until you get to the finish line, right? Yes. It's the same thing with
make it look easy, Charlie. Make it look easy.
That's such a good quote, Charlie. Yeah, make it look like women. Yeah, waiting at the finish line.
It's true. It's the same thing, right? They wait at the finish line, and so do the viewers, right? So it is what it is.
We had nothing but trolls in here talking about like, oh, it's not a secure thing. It's a Ponzi scheme. If it's a hot kitchen, it's a hot fucking kitchen, man.
You have to take risks. I mean, there's no way we would be where we're at without Charlie or without you, Rolo, because I mean, literally, like the amount of work that the three of us have done to make this happen is freaking crazy. So many sleepless nights, so much like messages, me driving around like a maniac everywhere, picking up people from like there's people that can't make it to the studio, and I'm rushing to like the airport, picking people up, moving people here.
We have a company car now.
We have a company car now, yeah, but
we have a company car now. Yeah, that was funny. No, and then no guts, no glory. Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. But like the other thing is that like look at like, say, people like Jedi Bila right now, who is no longer affiliated with Valuetainment. She can't use her old show name. I don't know what the legalities are. I don't know what the details are like that. But you know what? The first thing I said is, Jedediah, get to fucking come to Vegas. We'll give you a place to play. We will just set you up. You keep what you kill, but you come in here and just pay rent and you're ready to go. You'll own your own shit, right? I would love to do that because I have those connections. Adam Sosnick, man, if anything goes sideways with Adam, I'll be the first one to call him and say, hey, come to Vegas. Let's do something out here, because it's about the talent. It's about the people. It's about the personalities. It's about the humans behind all of it is really what it's about. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate both of you guys. You guys are my brothers. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and peace. See if I can get this to work. There you go. Hell, we have our own theme song.
Would you do it again? I need to feel you on top of me. It was my first time, but I was just a kid when we met and went to bed. It was my first time. What you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules now in the game. I've got some new tools. Please do the same. Stop getting by and win. Over like a matchbox stereo. Time to get my thoughts down and let it go. Bound to keep me up all night. But maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. I tell you, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know if maybe we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. I tell you, baby, one more again. Maybe you could have the best in my life.
Be cool. Say, bitch, be cool. Be cool, honey. Say, bitch, be cool.